Hey everybody, Steve Bogran here, Basic Fitness LLC, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about reverse dieting. I'd seen a question today, and somebody was asking why they should do it. Why should I reverse diet if I'm still going to put on fat? And that really got me thinking as to why should they reverse diet, right? Why should they take the time, the effort, and what I would consider to be a bigger challenge than a traditional diet and put themselves through all that work? So a lot of people might not know what reverse dieting is. So it probably makes sense to explain that first and foremost. So a lot of people know what a traditional diet is. You either start exercising more, or for probably what most people do is they start eating less, or they start eating cleaner. So what eating cleaner tends to do is just give you less calories in the diet, right? So if you've been eating lasagna and lots of cheese or other calorically dense foods, and now you're eating broccoli and salads and chicken and rice, things that tend to have less calories in them, you have cut your caloric intake. Now, this is the same thing that we as coaches do. We use factors that affect energy balance. So when you look at fat loss or weight loss in general, it's about energy balance. How many calories are you taking in versus how many calories are you expending throughout the day? Now that's not just through exercise, but any kind of non-exercise intensity activity, and just your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories it takes for your body just to maintain and to survive, essentially. So when you're dieting, you tend to cut calories so that you can lose weight. I, as a coach, like to take the emphasis off of losing weight and place it more on losing fat. Fat loss tends to be everybody's goal. Unfortunately, though, even though weight is an indicator of fat loss, people tend to get stuck on the weight aspect. And they look more at weight than things like how do your clothes fit, how do you look in the mirror, and how do you feel about yourself, how are you performing if you're an athlete. So when you're reverse dieting, you're essentially doing the opposite of a diet, right? Now, you are trying to increase your caloric intake. Now, a good coach is going to do this methodically, and the point is to minimize fat gain, while allowing your body to become less efficient in its use of calories. Now, why do I say less efficient in calorie use? If your body is efficient at calorie use, that means it will do a lot more with a lot less calories. So if you then eat more calories, your body doesn't need those and it can use them for other things, such as fat storage. Now, people who have competed and gotten stage lean, this does a number on different hunger hormones, and now, if that is you, it becomes even more important to reverse diet. That way you can minimize that initial rebound of fat gain. So, like I said, a good experienced coach is going to know how to manipulate these variables. You can be extremely conservative if you really want to minimize and you don't necessarily have a timeline for when you want to stop your reverse dieting. But really, reverse dieting is sort of an open-ended experience. It's a lot of people I've seen, get to very, livable calorie intakes while maintaining weight. I've probably seen as high as 600 grams of carbs a day maintaining weight on a very active individual. Now, that might not be a realistic expectation and goal for a lot of people. But back to the main point. Why should I reverse diet? I think that question for a lot of people comes out of a misunderstanding of the purpose of reverse dieting. Yes, it is there to help minimize fat gain and maintain body composition as much as possible, while allowing your metabolism to rebound off of a period of caloric restriction or low calorie intake and high energy output, right? But my opinion is that A reverse diet is less about staying stage lean and more about staying in a healthy body composition and restoring metabolic rate to a healthy and manageable point. I don't think that many people are going to be able to manage training and being active and living a fulfilling life at a very low calorie intake. This applies especially for competitors, but I have seen the other end of the spectrum where I've had people who are very overweight come to me that tend to undereat on most days and then binge. And I think that a lot of people see that end of the spectrum, the hey, I started eating more and exercising and I started losing weight. For most people on that end of the spectrum, I find that it is the consistency that really helps them out the most. I have had overweight clients who I've reverse dieted because their calorie intake was low. So they had very low activity levels, if none, so very sedentary, and low energy intake levels. And so those people, you can see fat loss in them while reverse dieting and increasing calorie intake. It can also happen to the leaner individual, but it's probably less likely. And there are a lot of different reasons for that. Especially as you lean out, hormonal influences change. The body adapts. We are very good at surviving, is what we do. And so sometimes that caloric intake and increasing that caloric intake can actually help to change hormonal influences and the way that your body is responding, and then can actually aid or allow for continued fat loss still. I think the difficult part for most people is that when you get stage lean, you want to stay stage lean, or at least a lot of people seem to want to stay stage lean. The problem with stage lean is that it is not the healthy place to be. There are, as discussed before, there are hormonal changes that occur in the body when you start to get to very low body fat percentages. Not to mention the mental toll that it can take on most people. If you've ever known anybody who has been dieting for a bodybuilding show, we can tend to be pretty cranky on a regular basis. And so there are a lot of reasons for that. Once again, hormonal influences, and the fact that you're hungry all the time. So, when I think about reverse dieting, I think that it's important to look at it as less of a tool to stay stage lean or as close to it as possible. So I think it's more important to look at it as a tool to get back to a healthy place in life, a place of moderation, and a place of not only physiological health or health for your body, but also a place of psychological health, where your relationships and with other people, your relationships with food, your relationships with your body are all still in a good place. That being said, everybody does have different goals, and some people do in fact need to stay extremely lean, and some people can stay extremely lean throughout an off season or improvement season. When I say that, I mean closer to stage lean. I do not think that it is unhealthy to have abs in your off season as a gentleman. Even I think a lot of women can still have abs and still be at a healthy place when it comes to body composition. But I don't think you want to be stage lean. The vast majority of people probably do not need to have striated glutes. Even more so on performance, you should remember that fat and body fat distribution is going to play a role on joint health as well as many other aspects of overall health and performance. And the truth of the matter is that this is a very complex idea and issue. And it's really hard to hit the depth of the psychological issues as well as the physiological issues and really understand them. Because of that, though, it's important to understand what a healthy body image ideals and goals are, and what healthy body image and body composition goals are for you, because it is going to change for everyone. So everybody, I hope that this was a help I hope that this helps you to set some healthy goals, not only for your physiological body composition, but as well as your mental well-being while you come out of a dieting phase. And for those of you who have never reverse dieted and tend to yo-yo and put on a lot of weight, I hope that this sparks some interest in you as to what this is, and I hope that you learn the process and that it can help you out in keeping weight off in your future dieting and body composition endeavors. Anyways, everybody, this is Steve from Basic Fitness LLC. Have a great day.